E-2 Investor Visa. The E-2 visa is a great option for investors and entrepreneurs. With an E-2 visa, you can live in the United States, start a US business, and work for your business. To get an E-2 visa, you must invest a substantial amount of capital into a US business, and you must direct and develop that business. You can either start a new business or invest in an existing business to qualify for an E-2 visa. The E-2 visa is only available to people from certain countries that have treaties with the United States. There is no limit to the number of times the E-2 visa can be renewed. So as long as the E-2 business continues to operate and meet the E-2 visa requirements, the visa can be renewed. Benefits. With an E-2 visa, you can start a business in the United States and work for that business. By getting an E-2 visa, your spouse and unmarried children under 21 years old can also qualify for E-2 visas. Your spouse can apply for work authorization to work in the United States. Your children can go to a private or public school. Requirements. You must be a national of a country with an E-2 treaty with the United States. You must have the intent to depart the US once your E-2 status ends. You must make a substantial investment in a US company. To determine if your investment is substantial or not, the immigration official working on your case will calculate the proportion between how much you actually invested in the business to the total startup case. Your E-2 business must be an active, for-profit business. The business that you invest in cannot be considered a marginal enterprise. It should create income for the investors, employees, and have profits. You must be entering the United States to direct and develop your E-2 business. You cannot be a passive investor and qualify for an E-2 visa. The source of your investment funds must be lawful. Your investment must be irrevocably committed to the E-2 business and must be at risk. You can begin your own business, buy a franchise, purchase an existing business, partner with someone and purchase 50% of their business. How long can I be in the US on an E-2 visa? The length of time of your E-2 visa depends on the treaty country. The period of visa validity generally ranges from 1 to 5 years. Your status, not your visa, determines how long you can stay in the US at any time. With an E-2 visa, you are granted 2 years of status each time you enter the US. With a valid E-2 visa, you can exit and re-enter the US to get an additional 2 years of status. There is no limit to the amount of times you can renew your E-2 visa. The E-2 classification can also be obtained by employees of the same nationality. There are generally 3 classes of employees that can obtain an E-2 visa. 1. Executive employees. 2. Supervisory employees. 3. Employees with special skills that are essential to the E-2 enterprise. The E-2 visa is a complicated process that we make easy for our clients. Let our experience be your guide. Gower Law Firm.